What's going on, Jeepers Creepers fans? What is up, guys? I know it's been a while since I've talked about this, but I think it's finally time that I do discuss it with you. I'm sorry for the late review. It's been a crazy time. I wasn't able to see the movie when it came out. Had some issues, and then when I finally found there was a link, it took me forever to finally find a good link. And then it's supposed to be coming on Sci-Fi tonight, but then had issues with that. This has been one issue after another, guys. But we're gonna go ahead and talk about this now. I'm gonna go ahead and give you guys a quick review as well as my thoughts and my predictions for possibly the next film. So let's go ahead and get talking about this, guys. One, I want to talk about, if you guys have seen it, let me know what you can think about it. Comments down below, but I'm going to give you guys my full review. Now, first off, I want to give this a 6.5 or a 7 out of 10. This was, I want to say it didn't live to the hype as it did. It was a very interesting story. It connected between the first and the second movie. It really filled in a lot of dots because we did not get to know a lot about the creeper like we thought. There was scenes where because I'm just going to break it up for you guys because you guys want to see it. I want to break it up fully for you guys. But there are parts within the movie that the mother of the one that was taken over 23 years ago, him and his prom date, she was talking to him, which was a figment of her imagination, and she found out that he came in contact with it all those years ago before his prom date, and the creeper attacked someone that was in front of his truck, and he took a hand of the creeper because the guy had a hatchet and cut it off. And that's how come he took it, and he put it in the barn, and he shot it a dozen times after the horses went nuts, and he buried it. And that's how come his mother has been trying to make it right, to find out what happened to her son. Why did it take him? Now she knows, because she does have a scene where she finally digs it up, and the hand basically puts her in the air and gives her a vision. And it does take place again right between the first and second movie, where the creeper is suddenly did attack the sheriff's station. We have Tubbs. We have another man by the name of Danny. He is the former sheriff of the town, or another sheriff of another town, and he has his own special forces that are going after the creeper. And he has assembled them into different formations to where he's able to make different weapons, from farmhands to officers to anyone that's come across this thing. He has gathered them to take it down for a singular purpose, to kill it. So he finally goes after the creeper. After they try to get the creeper's van, it does not work. It is booby trapped. Then a hauler takes it away. They have to try to recover it, but that does not work. The hauler does get killed along with the not the officer, but the hauler does get killed. And then later on through the movie, we see the granddaughter of the mother of the one that was taken, which her name is Galen, and her son's name was Danny, which is his niece. She does get taken later on through the movie. She's living with her grandmother, and the guy that is a worker at one that she's kind of interested in, he's interested with her. He gets hay for her, and he says, like, hey, here's for your horse. And then as soon as that happens, he also take more hay to another place where a friend of the granddaughter, Annie, she is friends with someone there, and the one son gets taken by the creeper after him and a group of friends start attacking the creeper van in the middle of a field, and they're wearing dirt bikes. And then next thing you know, the tailpipe has a long chain with a dagger that is able to capture him, and then he kills off the rest of the friends. There's so much that happens in this movie, guys. There's a lot more killing. There's a lot more craziness in the movie as well. But the author of the movie was Trish from the very first movie. That was the sister of Derry that was taken in the first movie. And I know I'm jumping around here, guys, so just try to stay with me. I'm trying to make it simple. Also, we do see where the one Danny, he says that he's come in contact with this thing before. The main character of the film, he's saying that he's came across with it 23 years before, and now he wants to take it down. He doesn't know if he's going to be able to be around if it does get away. He tells Tubbs he has the first encounter just like how he had, and it's going to take everything they have to finally put this thing down. And when they are finally going after it, he does, after the one Danny comes in contact with the one Galen. She tells him, if you're here to tell me that it's back, I already know. And she has him do the same thing she did, so that way he's able to see what this thing is. And all his ones that has gathered with with him has tried to hold him down. He has the same vision or information about the creeper, that it is very old, very ancient, and just evil. And that's all we get. We don't get more of an origin than that. It doesn't show the church like we thought in the movie either. We see a massive amount of issues throughout the movie that I will later get on with, that I personally did not like, but I'll get back into it in a minute. We also see where after that, Tubbs, along with the one Danny, does go after the creeper with his crew, and it does not work. They try shooting at the van. It does not work. They try shooting the tires. It does not work. And the creeper has two civilians in the truck. He has the granddaughter after she is taken, and of course he took a friend of hers brother, and he does get killed within the van. And we also see where he diverses some type of grenade rolling thing to try to take down Tubbs's van. And then we see another one of Danny's group of men. He gives a huge machine gun to try to take down the van. It does not work. It destroys them, and then next thing you know, it diverses two of those bombs to blow up both of the vans. Danny and Tubbs survive, but he tells Danny, you need to suck up your fear, don't give it what it wants. And the creeper does get out. It goes after Danny, but then he tells Danny tells Tubbs to cover him, that he's going to try something, so he goes over to where the machine gun was. And as soon as that happens, the creeper does everything he can to try to kill Danny. He finally jumps in the air to go after Danny with the axe, and as soon as that happens, he goes in for the kill, and Danny gets off a massive amount of shots with the machine gun, but it doesn't work. And he somehow does kill Danny. And then he goes after Tubbs, but then he gets back in the van to try to go after whoever else he wants, because he wants to get his hand so that way no one knows what he is. And a little later on through the movie, it does go to show that the main survivors of the film was Tubbs as well as the granddaughter, because she did get away from the creeper, as well as the other boy that she was interested in, which we'll get to here in a second. The grandmother did as well. She made a message, because the creeper did come onto her property after the guy that was interested in her granddaughter and Galen, they went to go after her granddaughter, but she left the creeper a message. The creeper came for his hand, and it said in bold letters where the hill was, "We know what you are." And the hand was right there. The creeper takes off the hand, and he breaks it apart, and he starts screaming. And what really got me is that after all this, we still don't know what he is, and that's all he does. And then crows are coming down, and then we go back to where the granddaughter is, Addison, and her boyfriend and her grandmother find her, and then that's how that part ends. And then it starts saying about Trish. She starts speaking about how everyone needs to come together. And we also see then the boyfriend, he leaves onto a bus, so it does go into the second film to where he was one of the boys onto the school bus that was for the football team. And I'm not sure if he survives. I'm not fully sure. I'm maybe 50% sure maybe he survives. But it all connected from the beginning of the first one, for the history of the first one to the second. So they're all connected now. And then it does say at the end of the film where Trish is looking at, she says, "Is this a call to arms?" She says, "Anyone that's come together." She says, "I'm going to kill the thing that finally took my brother." She says, "Now come get me, you son of a bitch." And that is how it ends. Now, guys, I gotta say, this was a good movie, but it had its faults. It really did. It was, first off, you gotta realize it was a low money production. So it did not get the same hype and respect factor as it did for the first two films, and you could tell that the filming quality wasn't as good as it was. You could tell that the man, I really don't like busting it, but I gotta be honest, the things that I didn't like about this movie was, one, the van. It was almost like a Batmobile where it couldn't be doing nothing. It had a mind of its own, and the creeper could control it. and also had all these gadgets that, you know, you try to escape it, have like a wall of knives come down. If you tried to start the truck, you have a thing come out of the seat. That's how one of the characters died, as well as had something come out of the tailpipe that was like a knife, and it just was completely bulletproof. You couldn't do nothing to it. It was like an invincible van, and that was like, it was cool, but it was like a little over the top in my opinion. And of course, we had where the hand scene was. That was a little stupid as well. But if anybody's seen anything like let's say Idle Hands or something around those lines, then you can kind of understand a little bit of that. But at the same time, I don't like it because it's like, you could have gone without that. But at the same time, this was a good film within its own. Yes, it had faults. Every movie has its faults. No movie is perfect. But out of my opinion, it does deserve a fourth film. Jeepers Creepers does deserve a fourth film. I know I have made tons of videos about this. I'm a huge Jeepers Creepers fan of the franchise, not of the director, not the one that created it. I think personally, you know, we need to set aside from that and just go for the film itself. I think there deserves to be a fourth film to either destroy the Creeper's reign and also give it a origin to where it finally comes from, other than it is ancient and evil, and we need to give everything it's got. It needs to have more than that. And this was just a taste to see if we are going to be getting a fourth one. Now, there is, to my knowledge, a fourth one being created as a script, but not fully ready yet. Now, if we do have it ready, then maybe we can get it possibly next year or within a couple of years. Then I believe that it'll be ready to be possibly in theaters again, or the same thing we did last time with it being in one night and then it going straight to DVD. Not fully sure, but if it happens, then it happens. But guys, this really does deserve a fourth film. The third one, it was good, but it was not all hyped up to be. I was a little disappointed in a few areas. It was not like all blood and guts like, you know, the second one and the first one was. It was a little dialed down. It was there wasn't a whole lot of action like you would think. It was more like scare tactics, and it wasn't that scary at all. It was more like you know what was going to happen. So it was a good film. Don't get me wrong. It was a good film. So I think it deserves a fourth film. If you guys do agree, leave a like as well. Subscribe to the channel if you guys are new. Again, I do apologize for the late review. It's been a while since I've done a movie review. It's been really crazy for me to do things like this. I know I've been doing a lot of Dragon Ball and other things of that nature. So, guys, it's been a pleasure to talk about Jeepers Creepers with you guys. If there's any more confirmation on Jeepers Creepers 4, any other commentary you guys want me to do, any more topics you want me to do, such as Jeepers Creepers or anything else, please let me know in the comments down below. Let me know what you guys think if you did go see the film, and let me know in the comments down below. Subscribe, and I'll see you guys on the next one. Peace.